What's up, everybody? I'm Scruff Dog, and you're on board the new streaming computer. Hopefully it's doing as well as the other one, and hopefully better. Welcome, everybody. Hope your weekend's going well. Let's see, I'm still using my Chromebook as the monitor, as this still isn't powerful enough to do everything all at once. But what's going on, everybody? Let's see, we have a bunch of people in here. There's Franco Walker, what's going on? Rob just showed up. So Mr. Furbear, video, audio, we are good. Joe Russ is here, he's been here for a while. I saw Brenda Lee in here earlier. Yeah, Gas Masher. I don't know how my chat's not going super far back, but oh, there's Dave. What's up, Dave? Good to see you. So, I don't know if you, well, I guess a quick update on the computer. So I had this, used to be, what was sitting on the bench. Or, actually, I guess I should hold it like that. It's a little i3 Nook. It's a 6th gen i3. So it was an i3 6100U processor with 4 gigs of RAM. Trying to run OBS, video rendering, all that stuff. It did okay, I suppose. But I found this other desktop laying around, which is a full desktop computer. It's an i5 6 something. But like the CPU benchmark is almost exactly twice as much as that one, so hopefully this will run a little better. I can actually have not the full preview, but I can have the main camera preview down here, so I can run manual zoom and focus, because I noticed the last bench stream the focus kept popping in and out. That was brought to my attention. Hopefully the audio is okay. I'm using a noise gate along with regular noise reduction on it, just trying to help save background noise. I just finished swapping my tower to a rack mount case last night. What, your computer or part of the synthesizer stuff? Looks good and sounds good. Oh, good. Like, is it pretty fluid, or is it like... that's my only concern. I don't want to have a 2 frames per second video stream. Your computer. That's cool. And you may occasionally hear cat stuff, and I may have to walk away occasionally to pet the cat, like Spaz. And I can't really move the cameras again yet. I haven't come up with a great rig for these yet, but we'll get there soon enough. And then in those cases, when kitties walk up, I'll be able to pick up this camera. But for now, we're just kind of, everything's literally balanced where it sits. Very clear, no noise. Good. Alright, so last week, during the stream at the power plant, I noticed that one of the LEDs, this one, was brighter than the rest. And at that point, this battery had already been glued to it. That's kind of overexposed. I wonder if I can mess with the exposure on this real quick. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. Backlight. Absolute. Let me turn it down. Maybe. Come on. Maybe not. White balance. Everything's moving so slowly. We'll deal with it. Sort it out. Alright, so this battery, just an old cell phone battery, was just glued to the back of it, and that's a little piece of razor blade that I used for the magnet. And that's not very thick, so I'm probably just going to glue a magnet to the back of this. But anyway, So I had a diode on there and this was glued. So to fix that I had to pry this off and in doing so, I managed not to break anything. And it turned out, hold on, let me mess with the focus. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Alright, so it turns out, I need a pointer. It turns out I need a pointer. Hey, let's use these. These are cool. So what you're seeing here is when I solder the LEDs in, and you're just going to have to deal with forehead cam. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead, since we're kind of into it. Let me move down to the next scene where it's not so big head, because my big ass head is blocking the subject matter. Hey, there we go. Okay. And if I go that way, is it more centered a little bit? What? Oh, I can actually see on that screen. Yeah, cool. But as when I soldered the LEDs in, I decided to make the ground the common bus bar on everything. So under these pieces of tape are all the leads soldered down to this ground, you know, quote-unquote ground bar. So that's common ground on everything. And then the resistors, like the ones that are in here, and the few that are tucked underneath, those are, you know, for the positive side of the LED. The reason there are LEDs underneath is because, yeah, otherwise I'd have to have a row on the outside, and there is obviously no room for that. So I just hid some underneath to save the room. And then these are the positive bus bars, I guess you'd call it, going over to this mess here. That's the only thing that really got damaged when I peeled that battery off, was it kind of ripped up some of the positive leads, but it was real easy to fix. But these are the positive going across. That's why I put the tape over here. They're each covering one of the negative bars, so I can run the positives across the top. All this white stuff is the remnants of the super glue when I had that battery attached. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess you can see. You see that little extra piece of tape right here? That little rectangle? I actually had to add that in because this big piece underneath it had folded, and that bar there was laying across another positive piece for the resistor. So it actually had shorted out straight to positive. Luckily, it wasn't direct 5 volts, so I'm sure it would have just burned that out, which, I mean, it's a replaceable part, but I was still happy it was able to be repaired just by, I slid in a little tiny flathead, just enough to break the glue, and then lifted the lead there, slid the tape underneath, and then just pushed the lead back down. So now everything burns evenly. And of course, through all this, chipped off a corner, which isn't a critical piece for the project, but I looked at it and I went, you know what? It just means this Ukrainian flag's still a little, she's a little tattered, she's a little frayed, but she's still going to burn bright, so that's okay. So today's goal is to take this. I'm not going to use this gigantic battery. It's a little heavy, and like I don't need the pin to necessarily burn for a year. But the smallest pack I have is only a little bit smaller, but it'll save enough room so that, like, when this was glued, it took up, I mean, you know, most of the back, which kind of sucked for the switch. But if I had this one, you'll see I have a little extra room for when I had this little fella over, and I'm going to take the diode off of this battery and put it in line. I tried 2 diodes, and it doesn't, only maybe 3/4 of the LEDs light up. So we're just going to go with the single diode. We'll just take it off of that battery. And, oh, and I'm going to glue an actual magnet here, as opposed to a piece of metal, so we can get some really good holding power on there. Hey, Lock Watcher. Good to see you. Thanks for showing up. My cat is having an asthma thing in the background. If you can hear that, that's normal. We think she's allergic to cats or something. But she does that all the time. She's fine, if you can hear it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let me bring the focus back down. At least the focus slider moves pretty quick. Actually, I'm gonna, that's 0. I'll do it. Yeah, right around there. That's not quite. That's 20 out of. Oh, it's gonna get really blurry. Okay, 20 out of 255. So we'll remember 20. Just off the bench, I guess. Seems like that's picking that up pretty clear. Yeah. Let's see. Smaller battery looks better. Yeah, I think it'll work out a little bit better. So let's go ahead. Oh, I forgot that's glued. You know what? Got my little cheater kit here. And I also, you know what? That's fine. Because I don't need that big ass diode anyway. I can just use one of these little blickies. 1N4148. If I remember, they're only good for like half an amp, but this circuit only pulls at most, like on initial startup, pulls like 150 milliamps. So this should be fine, and if not, then like I got other ones, but in the effort of saving weight and space, we got that little fella. I don't know if you haven't seen these little guys, if I'm not mistaken, these little buggers are germanium diodes, whereas the rest of them are something that I can remember when I'm not too busy. Somebody can fill me in on chat if you can remember. Just germanium and what, just regular silicone, or they're all I don't know. Don't mind me. Alright. So we know this is all good. We're just going to move on. And the other thing, there is no charge. I think there's a charge controller on this. I don't feel like peeling the tape to find out. And I also, like, nobody in town has liquid electrical tape. So I had to actually order some from Amazon. And that'll be the final touch. Once this is together, I'll use that to seal the backup. So I also have to remember that, like, when I'm lining this up, not to line the battery with the top, but to bring it down a little bit so that when I seal it, there's not like a, you know, the tape will sit in that groove a little bit. So I guess we should start with, let's do, I wouldn't mind having the battery or the sticker facing outward, just because we all like to know the specs of what we're working with. And that would be fine. I can just join those two. I hope you can hear me as I'm mumbling. I'm going to solder that up tight. And the switch, I don't know, where's my focus is low, okay. Do that, and then we can do the switch and diode pretty much right in the middle. Can almost use that to hold down the ground pin, if you see. Let me focus, you know what, I'm gonna work a little higher here. Let me shift, zoom up. Right. Is that pretty good? Yeah, it looks pretty good. You like that? Is that better? That's kind of vision needed for the Saturday. There's a silicone. Oh, there's our silicone. Okay. I burned through those, so many need it in the synth mod. How will you recharge it? Yeah, actually, yeah, that's what I was getting to. Scatterbrain. forehead. So what I'll end up doing is at the very end of all this, there's going to be two little pins sticking out somewhere that will also be kind of poking through, probably like back here or something, that I will clip this to. My little 4056 charge controller, just with clip-on leads. That's what I've been using to charge the pin, and I had to use I used the yellow lead because the kit, the little cheapy, like $5 kit that came with jumper cables, came with like 3 yellows, but only 2 reds and 2 blacks. So I just sacrificed a yellow because it doesn't really make sense. Okay, this battery we don't need. We can set that over there. You know what? I should probably put tape over that so that it don't go explode, even though it has protection. Doesn't mean we need to test it. Alright. Oops. Oh, come on. Eat that. Alright. Just go right. We'll do it this way. That'll work. It's going to be sitting in a safe spot anyway. Under my monitor. Alright, so what are we doing here? What are we doing? We need to mount the battery first. Okay. So, quote, mount the battery. I'm only going to use a little bit of, actually, I may have enough in this, but I'm only going to use a little bit of the super glue. And I will rely on the liquid electrical tape to do most of the work. But I will use super glue on these 2 spots, just to hold it in place. Saw your flag last week. It inspired me to make one of those too. Sweet. Use DuPont cable with socket if possible. Pin sticking out may lead to spontaneous combustion. Well, yeah, I'm gonna figure something out. Yellow is usually 12-volt power, probably why. Ah, that's true. Yeah. That is a good point. Let's see if I got enough. Ooh, yep. Right there. Little dab will do you there. Now I'm going to need that for plugging the switches. Alright. Let's put that right there and hold. Alright, everybody dance and hold. Dance and hold. Alright, we'll give this a minute. Don't mind me, I'm going to be messing with the focus. It's like new toy syndrome, I guess. But at least it's not doing the focus bounce. I hate when it does that. I don't understand, especially this camera, because like this is a pretty good, I mean it's a Logitech 930E. Like it's supposed to be like a pretty nice camera, but it's got that focus bounce. But I mean, I know this is not exactly the environment it was designed for. And I'm not using my phone just to, mostly just so I can get the dual camera thing going. And also if I decide to do a stream and I want to like share a picture, it's be easier to do, I guess. Yeah, I can use OBS to do that. I don't know, I'm just impressed this old ass computer can handle OBS as well as it is, so I'm gonna kinda roll with it. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's see. Is that gonna be good enough? Yes. That one lead's just a little higher than the rest, but that's okay. We don't need perfection. I am going to have to straighten this out a little bit. But I am not going to bore you with that. Let's do a coffee. Let me go back to, like, no shit on the thing. Under OBS scenes, the top one here is just called Intro Big Head. Coffee and a little vape. So you're down there as well as my video feed. My focus feed is on this computer, which that in itself is great. That's the main thing that I like about not using the Intel NUC anymore, is that now I can actually see my focus, even though it's upside down, because the way the camera sits, it sits upside down, and it's flipped in the studio mode, like spun 180 degrees, but the RAW, which is what I use for focus, is of course still upside down. But it's way better than it was 2 weeks ago. So this is, again, berry gelato. So I was watching Skippy62 Abel, you know, and that kind of that brings you down a little bit. He's a good guy though. He's a goofball. He's one of them guys that does like food challenges and weird stuff, and used to be a football player. Smart guy, but he plays the derp head a little bit. Let's see. What value resistors did you use? The yellows have 430 ohm resistors, and the blues have 470. Let's see. Oh, no, wrong one. Sorry, that was just got these big box $2 clippers. Sorry, not that box. There's the project box. There it is. Oh crap, what did I just click? Ooh, why is that? Hold on. Oop. Touchpad on the Chromebook was enabled. That could have been bad. Let's see. 430 and 470. That's right, yeah, the blues are 470. And then I realized that it was kind of a little bit too bright. So I'm putting a diode in line with it just to drop it a little bit more. I tried 2 diodes just to see what would happen, and it actually, yeah, I think I already said that. But only like 3/4 of them kind of lit up, and they just kept resetting. Like you could actually see it kind of flare out and just, and then kill itself. I don't know why my phone is in my pocket. What else we got here? I love new toys. Finally got a USB PCI 3.2, so I could use more than one camera. Why would you have to do that to use more than one camera? This dinosaur I can hook. I got these two, and I got a I think my digital microscope might be able to plug into this as well for like future weird projects. I brushed my hair, like a little bit. I do that sometimes. I haven't oiled my beard yet today. I got out of the shower a little while ago. Having Skittles and grape. Need to get more of those. I broke a tip on pair the other day. Yeah, that's like just like once a year I order like 5 sets. And they seem to last before they get so dull that I end up throwing them in the work van. Use them out there for a little while, and then they just end up breaking anyway. But they are useful at work just for nipping little stuff, trimming plastic, cotter pins. Yeah, once they're dull, you don't need them. You don't want them to be super sharp. Like if you're manipulating cotter pins and pulling them out of stuff, you want them to be just dull enough to grip but not cut. So they work great until they break. I mean, they're and these fucking insulation bullshit. But they do work good for cotter pins until the little tips break off. But it's good because a lot of times you can't get this into the same place. How's that look? camera. Oh, there you go. Don't look bad. See, a lot of times you can't get this into a spot, and you can get these, but these are just more delicate. I got one of these too. It's actually glass, I think. Sounds like it. Sound like glass to you? This is neat because, like, if you look, where's my focus? Looking with the focus. You can almost see the circuitry. You focus down to it in there. That's pretty good focus. Oh, there, you can really kind of see in there. Let me just kind of zoom in on there too. Oh, look at this shit. This is fun. Oop, I'm drifting. There we go. That's neat. And you can read in there. I don't know. I might do something with this live. And then just print, a cap for it, depending on how this comes out. Oh yeah, focus and zoom and shoop shoop. You don't mind me, you know me, I just drift all over the subject. It will not handle more than one video feed unless I used a separate USB hub. Wow, so my old setup has only one entire, I just figured out it was time to upgrade to proper, yeah. Nah, I dig it. I don't know. This one seems to do okay. Maybe the bus on your old motherboard was limited. High voltage spots you could test for neon or argon being used in the glass bulb for cooling. Wow, that's sharp. Yeah, like Rob, you're saying that's sharp. Like it is. It's a good camera. I didn't realize it would be able to focus that close to it. Like that's pretty good. That I wasn't expecting. I wasn't considering it's marketed as a webcam, like zoom camera. I wouldn't expect it to focus any more than closer than maybe 9 inches. But that was 2 inches away. But cheers, berry gelato and coffee. It is neat having two views. I don't know if. Oh, I do got to remember though, if I'm using the big heads up, then coffee stuff and things are over here because my big head's over here. All right, cheers. P7P55T. I feel like I've heard of that one. And I've pretty much always used MSI motherboards. I guess, I don't know, I've never really run into any problems with them. Yeah, send me some pictures later. Oh, I just got a notification that somebody named Scruffdog went live. That's good. I'm glad that's one time. Alright, I'm wasting enough time here. Let's see what we can do. So we got that in. We want to get the ground connected, and of course this is just a little too short to make it. So let's use these. I don't want to cut the battery lead too short in case something happens. I don't want to lose the ability to use the battery. That should be just fine. That there. So this is one of them things where the liquid electrical tape would be nice to forego if I have heat shrink, because all my heat shrink is pretty much out in my work van now. I wonder if this will do to fit. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Just to make it. Cool. Let me leave that out. Yeah, I gotta get like another heat shrink kit for in the house again. Because I had one of them, I think it's been on a stream before, but one of them big boxes with different colors and shit, but that's back in the van. NASA space flights, live astronauts doing stuff. Cool. Alright. 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 Have that over there. Let's grab my center. Oh, and there was a discussion the other night about, where's my focus? Okay. Using these brass, hold on. Using these brass, solder scrapers. There was concern brought up that people were worried that it would actually scrape the coating and damage tips over time. In case that's something that you have ever been concerned about, this tip is probably 10 years old, and this scraper brasso thing is probably 20 years old, and this is the only thing I use for solder, and it does not affect your tip at all in a negative way. It just cleans the shit out of it. So if that's ever been a concern, if you've wanted to switch from sponge, these are just fine. They won't damage anything. I've never had any problem with them. Anything you need to do, if you listen, every once in a while, you need to just pull it out like over the trash can and shake out all the old solder, or you can save it and make a blob, or somebody had some, what did somebody suggest? I mean, you can make a Terminator out of it. You know, what was it, T1000? But yeah, these things are just fine to use. And they're easier than the sponge because you ain't got to worry about water, you ain't got to worry about cleaning it, but once a year, if that. I don't think I've emptied that for like 3 years. So, just putting that out there. For $3, and you will probably never have to buy another solder scraper again, like for your life. I mean, like you just saw, I just rotated that, and like it looks like it's brand new again. And there's just more brand new everywhere. So, highly recommend it, in case there has ever been a question. So, moving on. Here's a similar one that works well. That's what I use. Love my brass scrubby. There you go. Yeah. Once you know that the brass is good, that's all you need. That's all you'll ever use. And I'm not doing a ton of soldering today, so I don't have my fan on. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's not do what we all do and forget the heat shrink. Let that cool down a second. She's tight. Don't shrink on me yet. Alright. These are always fun. Let's see. Let's get a little help here. This is my, I think this is about 10-year-old thing of flux. It is nasty. It is ugh, but it works just fine. Don't worry about it. A little dab will do you. I mean, if need be, I have like liquid flux for like BGA or BGA, like ball mount CPUs. Like I got all kinds of other flux, but that old crap works great. Alright, if someone could reach over and just touch that with the soldering iron real quick. Could you think you could? Alright, fine. Thanks. So I'll just take care of it myself. Let's see here. Let's see, how are we going to do this one? We bend this a little better. Where are? Oh yeah, where's my? Is that? Boop boop. Just to try and bend this wire. Now, with the heat shrink on it. Stay right there. Don't move. Got it. Alright, now normally I would hit that with a torch. You know what? I can still do that. Here's my little pencil torch. So I got this. No shit, I got this from Fry's Electronics, which is like a basically in Indiana, which I think was one of its original ones. But from like Indiana westward in the States, it's like Best Buy, but like instead of half of it being media, it's like components. It's for those of you in the States that know of Micro Center, or anybody that's heard of Micro Center being like the big computer store, this was the size of like 4 or 5 Micro Centers, and it was just computer stuff. And like the little tiny section about the size of a convenience store was like the appliances. The rest of it's just computer stuff, components, or at least it was. So I've had this for almost 20 years. It's a little refillable, horribly unsafe. Like you change the, where's the flame? There you go. Change the flame just by twisting the barrel, and of course while you're using it you're accidentally twisting the barrel and all that stuff. Like, it is very inappropriate. Here, let me let's get that zoom up, or the focus up, and I'll even zoom a little bit. Playing with the toys. Where are we at? Where's my focus level? Oh, that's real high. Cool. Let's just do like a drive-by with the heat. Alright, I saw it shrink a little bit. I ain't doing any more near that battery. Can we ask him to solder it again when he... Uh-oh. What did I miss? Your face cam is excluded. Oh, is it? Oh, I'm still on, sorry, I'm still on Big Head. My bad. Let me make sure that, there we go. Sorry about that. Forgot we moved on. But yeah, actually, I got that little, I got the ground soldered now. Where's my focus? There it is. And tiny little heat shrink. So now I need to do the switch, diode, and posin solder into this rail here, like anywhere. So let's focus down. Come on, focus. That's better. Yeah, sorry about that. Like, do you want me to just turn the head view off for a while, or what? Like, just let me know. Doesn't really matter to me. Alright. So, a switch. You know what? I do want to work up a little bit higher here. Focus. Alright, so hands width is 40, and then like super close was about 60. So in this range, 40 is pretty good. Alright, we're learning, folks. So I'm going to want to hold this ground down. I solder in close. Go for it. I can bring positive in on pin, I guess we'll call it pin 1. And I'll bring the diode out of pin 2. Drop the diode down to the positive rail. And that will actually help support the switch a little bit as well. So we don't need that guy. See, I don't mind like doing little projects just right with everybody. I don't think I want to cut that. I think I want to bend that. What the fuck are these monsters for? Jesus. Wow. Little snake bites. Where's the other ones? There we go. What is that? Maybe I did that. Alright. The positive is going to come to here. How's that focus? That's not bad. Sweet. I'm going to figure this shit out. And if I break this, doesn't matter. I got a thing of like a lot. Like 50 of them. Like I'm definitely covered if something goes wrong here. Okay. Finish that a little bit more. I want it to be pretty 90. Not OCD, I just want it to look decent, you know what I mean? Leveled up. Small version was fine, it's just what else got to cover in the work. Top tip, always remember to plug your soldering iron in. Yes. Well, as soon as I clicked start on the stream, I went, oops, and then I turned my soldering iron on. So I guess the noise gate's working out pretty good. Like you can't hear a toilet running in the background right now. Let's see. I'm working around this. Focus is around here. That is like I wonder if the focus was messed up because where, like, I wonder where its focal point is in here. But oh well, I'm fine with manual. So we're gonna obviously want to keep the switch turned off so that we don't blow anything up. I think I want to mount. You know what? Since the diode's going to be semi-load bearing, we're going to go with something with bigger leads. We'll go with a 1N. Yeah, I don't want to put a Schottky diode in. So yeah, we'll go with a 1N 4007 just because it has beefier leads than, what was this one, a 4148? Yeah. So, since it's going to be semi-load bearing, and you know what, it's never been, it doesn't hurt to just go with an oversized component anyway. Let me see something here. Okay, so if my brain is working right, this should turn it on. There we go. Ooh, that's good focus too. It's not really like super overexposed. Ooh. So that will be the final, and they're all even now, which is always a bonus. So where do we want to put this dude? We glue. I think I'm going to solder across these two. Sorry, I think I'm going to solder across these two pads and tap in to the positive rail. Bend this up just a pinch. Shape the leads. So that it's floating like here, so that way the body's up. So that this lead is less likely to drop back down onto positive. And then once I get liquid E-tape in there, that'll help add to the insulating properties. Let's see. Up there. Yeah, I can glue the switch kind of to the resistor. Alright, cool. So let's trim that right there. Hold your ends so that you don't poke people's eye out like 3 blocks away. We all know how that goes. Forehead cam. Cheers. Hey, I look over there, I'm like, oh my god, I'm not doing anything on camera, but then I get this blue light in my face. Alright. Let's see. So now we gotta solder this little dude. I'll use the other end of the lead. Hold it. I want this positive bar up some. Oh yeah, sorry. Keep forgetting I'm focused high. I'm gonna bend that bar up a little bit. Kind of make a little pocket right there. As soon as this looks good, then I'll just go ahead and... Ooh, yeah, this is gonna go over that lead, so I should actually do it like this, shouldn't I? We'll figure it out, folks. Let me bend this way. Forehead cam. That'll work. Cross it over, just make a big ass blob right there. And then that'll get tucked in. Alright. Tiny little drop. Let me put it here. Adjust the rotation as I bring it down. This one's almost out of glue. Sit, Ubu, sit. Alright, we'll hold that. And then we will solder it after the glue settles in. I'm going to trim that lead a little bit as well. Shaky, shaky. And we're just going to put that anywhere. Oh, bitch. Alright, well, glue didn't hold, so we'll try again. Might as well go ahead and trim that. That's going to go flying, so I'm going to aim that towards the back wall. Oh, it didn't go flying, it just kind of chilled. Alright. Sit. Ubu. Sit. Alright. We keep 2 hands on it this time. Let it dry. I do notice components don't always stick. Sometimes it takes a couple times. I'm guessing there's just surface properties affect it. Oh yeah, there's the battery. I don't know what this battery came out of. Oh, that's a lithium polymer? Okay. Keep that in mind so I don't overcharge it. I wonder what that came out of. 2018. I have no idea. Like, I got a bunch of round cells over there that come out of like old vape devices. I got 18650s that have come out of like scooters, bike batteries. I've got some Samsung 18650s that came out of like the Ego, like Amazon brand, cheap ass, well, seemingly cheap ass, like rechargeable tools, but then it's got Samsung cells in it, so maybe not so cheap ass. Alright, let me bring you downstairs. Yeah, my little dot is a little off, because that dot was made on the original camera setup with different, the monitor, like the monitors are a different spot, like they had to move forward to fit the desktop behind them, whereas the Nook just kind of sat under them. What do we do for focus? Ooh. I think that's as good as focus is going to get. I think just because it's so zoomed in. Let me zoom out. No. Where is it? Right there. I can see the cross in the trash can as best I can right there. That's 29. Alright, I find 18652, but yeah, they get a little, especially when I've been trying to do lightweight projects for like the drone and like pins like this, they are a bit heavy. They're definitely meant for heavier applications, like heavier duty, I guess you should say. Like optimally, like probably a 400 milliamp hour pouch would be great for this, but yeah, I'm not really want to order anything either. Like this is a around, what do we got around the house kind of project. Can you see that? Yeah, I wish the focus was a little better down there. You know, I'll come up with something maybe like a solder station, like a box or something that brings everything up higher. Because yeah, that's at like infinity focus, which is like, but I can't get it to crisp focus down there, but I might be able to do that if I have something higher up. So I will investigate that. And see, focus at 40, which is this height. So I just soldered, just put that anywhere. Just soldered that right there. And yeah, I know the solder looks rough. Like when you do skeleton boards like this, it's just gonna look rough. But it is good solder joints nonetheless, so no concerns. Let's test things. Easy. Those four are different. Like that all the time. So there's four that are a little different. I like finding those little weird things like that. Those two are really close. Oh, now they're going. That's funny, like they get really close and then that quickly they just change. Alright, cool. That works. Let's check the Scruff. Oh, yes, the Scruff Dome. Scruff's cue ball. I hate it when I get the shakes. Yeah, I always pretty much have the shakes, and broadcasting doesn't help. Oh yeah, like you always get a little bit nervous, especially when you're an amateur like me. Alright, so next we need to, where are we at here? Need to get this switch on here, and that'll be great because then you look, it's just a little nub of the switch sticks out past the board, which I think is great. Like, that's very similar to this, where, if you can see it, the switch sticks out just past the board. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows exactly where this came from. So, if not, this is the mouse pewter, the original mouse pewter. I guess for any newcomers, it's at Etsy/flashy things, or just search for Etsy flashy things, and you will find his quite wide and varied selection of little flashy mini pewters or seasonal standard ones, these in different colors. It's all kinds of cool shit. So, but yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing of just barely you can see the switch. So we'll go with that. Is my okay? We are zoomed in. Wow, we are zoomed pretty far in, aren't we? But that's okay. That works out right there. It's a good spot. Okay. Alright, so we need to, I don't want to try and bend this lead without putting pressure on the diode, just because I don't know how good that glue actually set. I guess these will work. Let's bend this up. Ooh, no, there's a little too weak. Ooh, round one. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm holding diode in place and just bending this lead up. And hopefully over. Let's see, how does that compare to? I need to get a little bit closer to the cell. Let's bend this that way, then twist that way. Let's see how that looks. How's that look? Let's solder that right now. If a little closer to the cell I wouldn't be mad. Flatten that back out, bend that down there. It's this again. It's really close to the cell now. I hope I'm staying relatively in focus. I think that'll work. I can bend that a little bit. Do I have like a... Let me see if I have like a box or something. Huh. Anybody ever remember seeing these? They're like at all the all the worst like mall centers. Hold on. Sold them for like 10-15 bucks. Anybody know what this is? Hold on. And then mouse shows up. Alright, ready? Okay, look at the other one. This is what this thing does. It's like an octopus head. Actually pretty cool. It like massages your head. And if somebody else is doing it, it's really neat. But yeah, makes an interesting hat as well. So, but bring that up just because that's sitting on top of a small wooden crate. I'm not trying to advertise for anybody, so let's rotate it that way. Get this stuff out of the way, and let's see how soldering on top of this does. Bam. There's some focus for you. It's almost at the right height already. Alright, let's zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom! Ooh, wow. Alright, I don't even know I gotta mess with the focus. Let's see. That's worse. That's pretty good. Alright, cool. But if I'm soldering, I gotta turn it this way. I don't foresee the crate moving too much, so let me center the crate to the camera. Oh yeah, you can actually read everything now. That's cool. Alright, I'll have a drink to that. What's up, Rifleman? Mouse, I think I said hey. Oh, there's Andy P. I didn't see you earlier. Hey, Liz. Miss Liz Edwards is here. Welcome, Queen of Fire. Can't do woofles in the workshop. Like, there's literally paper right above my head. We will get some woofles on here soon enough with the new and improved woofler. I feel like I showed that last week, or 2 weeks ago. Alright. More dignified than my bad dragon focus. Yeah. This is, I guess just so we can, this is a man crate. Got this for whatever holiday thing a long time ago. So, there's that. And what's up, Clive? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, so we will solder. How's the focus? Okay, yeah, we're good. I see you. So we will go ahead. We'll solder that into place right there. Then we'll bring the positive around. So let's snippy snippy. Let's go ahead and get some of my nasty ass resin, or, well, yeah, rosin flux. Let's preload a little bit of solder. Where is my solder? Alright, I have my solder. Boop, boop. Remember, folks, be really careful when soldering directly next to a battery. Alright, and now let's figure out how the hell I'm going to hold this upside down backwards. There is a cat hair on my soldering iron. Nice. Alright. Try that again. Cat hair free. That's right. Yep, upside down backwards. Oops. Where are you going? There we go. Come on. Hate that. Ow. Got everything stuck to me. Ew. Yeah. 15-year-old flux on me. That's why hairs are removable. Alright, so switch is mounted with the structural diode. Let's tuck that down some. Then we'll make our final electrical connection. Let's go ahead and test before we continue. we are good to go. So, yeah, let me put a little of super glue on that resistor. Boom. Squish her down. Boy, that's going to be a tough spot to solder right there, but we'll get her. My next solder connection is going to be from the red wire, that little pin right there. Where's my other tweezers? Let me hold this switch down while the glue sets. Look it to the off position for soldering. All my projects have cat hair. Yeah, I mean, anything I cook, anything I project, anything I wear is definitely cat fortified. Fuzzbutt fortified. Give this a couple more seconds. Got glue to set as I flex all around to grab my coffee. And we'll shorten up the positive lead and try to make that last connection without having anything explode. Alright, give that a second. And speaking of which, let me get my old bread machine pan for splodies. Alright, that came out pretty good. Okay. Now we need to make that long. Probably too short. That's kind of how I roll. Little more. The insulation is actually slipping. It's so short. Neat. There we go. Alright. How are we doing? Oh, good. We're actually in frame. That's always nice. Got the dome cam up top. Okay. Let me get a little extra slack. Go ahead and pull a miracle out of my ass. Should have pre-tinned this earlier. Cool. Alright. It's turned off. This might not be. Ooh, I don't know that I want you resting on the body of the switch. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Oh, I think we got it. Oh, the battery kind of came loose. That's alright. Alright, we have a almost finished project. All I need now is my liquid E-tape to seal all this up. And we're good. When I'm gonna have to figure out where to clip into this for charging. The ground bar is easy enough, but I'm gonna have to get something off of that. Or it's a little, that might be a little sketch. Let's do a tiny piece of wire, solid core. I got my thin O wire. Since I am super focused in, I'll just do that for a second. Solid core wire. Where is it? No, that is coil wire. Red is this. That's what is this? I got stranded. Strip a piece here. That is solid core. Alright, how long a piece do I need? You know, actually, what I really need to do, I leave these on all the time. Hold on. Let me catch up on chat here a minute, because I realize, yeah, how long before Chinese sellers flood eBay with supercomputer? Yeah, like, surprised that hasn't caught on yet. Feline fiber fortified. Alkaloid breakfast. Then explosion containment pipe. Oh yeah, that's that. Mouse charging facility. There is not anything built in. And actually, I'm going to put this wire back because I don't need wire because I just realized what I'm going to do. There is no charging facility built into it, so I'm going to use my 4056 with leads to, what I'm actually going to do is, since I leave these running all the time anyway, when I'm charging it, I'll just leave it turned on, and then I can clip right into, I can leave that little loop, focus, or placement, I can leave that little loop right there exposed after I liquid E-tape everything, and then I can leave something down here just exposed enough to clip a lead on, like that for the ground, and then I'll just have to charge it with it turned on. But I don't care about that, that's fine. That way I don't have to try and get something in there. So that's fine. I mean, worst comes to worst, it's a quote-unquote safety to turn off charging if all else fails anyway. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not sure why this... I would like that to be a little less floppy before I add glue, so let me put a little bit of glue there. And just for kicks, let's just kind of put some across that general area. Kind of double as some insulation for that positive. Because at this point, I don't see any reason that this would have to be taken apart again. And I think clipping onto that will be just fine. I will paint the side of this switch a little bit because it is floating. It is a floating case, but I still don't want to accidentally have it hit something and short shit out. So yeah, this crate, this is a great height for up close soldering. A lot better than focusing down there, so I will keep that in mind. Now we have a new stream tool. What do we got on chat? We're catching up. Unplanned IED, not pickled enough. Improvised entertaining device. Sure. Protected cell. I'm pretty sure it's a protected cell. It feels like it. There's a BMS in there. And when I hook it in line with the 4056, it actually pulls the 4056 up to like 4.3 volts. But then it settles to 4.2, so I think it is pulling in. I think the BMS is in here and pulling it in. I also noticed that this does not charge. Using that one, it won't charge to 4.2 volts because it's lithium polymer, so I'm pretty sure there's a LiPo BMS in it because I was dicking with charging it with potentially the wrong charger and everything seemed fine. So I think we're good. I got all Everything's flashing. We got our little tatteredness, which is fine. Now we just need to attach a magnet. Alright. Are we still in shot? Yes. Where do we want to... You in there? I feel like I really kind of want to measure this so that when the magnet's on it, the weight will help hold it level. Where? Oh. The metal version of what Clive has. These are, let's see, is that in? Yeah, these are, I think these are like 15 years old. Got them from Harbor Freight. I think it's no shit like the second battery I've ever had to put in it, and it's almost dead. This is, okay, that's 60 millimeters. The 30 is right in between the 5 and the 0. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can do the resistor cutoff thing. Yeah. Yeah, these digital calipers are awesome for designing 3D printing stuff. Now, by the way, Clive, did you get the email with the new Woofler files? I sent it last weekend, but I know you were getting ready to go on your trip, so I don't know if you caught that or not. What the fuck? So right in between the 5, it looks wrong, but that's because the cell's sitting a little off center. Let's just try and get any more glue. Oh yeah, there's plenty. Alright. More than enough. Yeah, non-magnetic. Like a must. Make sure I'm holding these high enough that they don't touch the glue. Right in between, that worked great. 4 and the 5. Or the 5 and the 0. Oh, I'm way off shot, sorry. Working on it. Oh, that worked out pretty good. You hold that down. So if not, let me know. I can figure out whatever way to get you the Woofler files. I'll let you sneak a peek at them before I give them out to everybody. Alright. So now all we need to do is wait for Amazon to bring me liquid electrical tape, because apparently nobody else in the world wants to carry it in stock. Let's see. Let me play with my zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Bring that focus back down to the table. That means right now we've got that. Got this guy right here. You bring them on over. And I've warned people before, I will turn this over. When you move the crate. It looks like hell underneath here. Everything is stuck to it, but I put red tape on it just to hold shit in place. I just haven't taken the red tape off because I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. It's just a little bit extra holding it. So it's a little messy, but it's okay. Like if I took all the tape off, it would be nice and pretty and stuck and everything would look good, but this is what's on the back of this monster. And I actually have like a stand for it so that it sits, whoops, like that. And that's what sits over in that corner. So we got that guy. Where's my other one? Oh, it's in the other room. Hold on a sec. One moment, please. Alright. And we also have, this is the one I made. Hold on. Focus. Focus. What's that, about 40? No. Wow, where are you going? Holy moly. Yeah, it was about 40. There's this one. A little neater than that one. And this one I'm going to make a duplicate of it and actually make, we figured out you can actually kind of make art with it, because when it's dark, it actually shines through the black backing, and when it radiates out on a white surface, it looks really cool. So that will be turned into art at some point. Let me focus down to 25. All right. And of course, this thing I made years ago. It's got a bunch of slow color changers in it, and I left the focal point on 3 of them that shine out, and it actually projects the patterns of the glass on the ceiling. I think I've shown these before. So here's my collection so far of cool color changey stuff. I don't really have anything else, but I'm glad we were able to get this done, because this is, by tomorrow when the glue fully dries, like, I'd feel comfortable enough to wear it even before I get the liquid E-tape on it. I can wear it around work, not while I'm working, but I'm not trying to destroy it, but where's all my shit? I can start wearing it a little easier now, especially with that magnet on the back as opposed to the piece of metal. Should hold a lot tighter too. Alright, yeah. That's just about all I really had planned to do today. I guess if you want to hang out while I clean out, we can bullshit and chat it up. Franco on his way out, they consume about the same current anyway. Spare batteries. The medium-sized one looks really great. Thank you. Rob. Chronic Gaming, welcome. I need to buy some diffused LEDs for my board. Screwed up and got 3. Yeah, I've done that. Just get so wound up in like ordering something, and I'm gonna go big head, just so you know. Boom. I'll move this stuff over here. Does that work? Oh yeah, you get so wrapped up in ordering LEDs that eventually you just forget to look at the fact that they're the wrong size. I've done that. I'm not real big on 3mm LEDs. I really like 5s and surface mount. Ooh, wow, that one's bent to shit. But yeah, anyway. So what is everybody up to this weekend? Similar to darkening welding, going flat in about 2 years. Fitted mine with an external CR2032. Yeah, I got a couple, one of my welding hoods is, it doesn't auto dim anymore. That's always fun when you first find out, like, you forget to check, you know, with the lighter flick. You know, like, just throw it on and go, you arc a weld, and suddenly your eyes are fucking like 3 blocks over where they landed. So yeah, I'm going to keep charging this with my lithium ion set charger, because I'm pretty sure that that is LiPo, or that has protection on it. Let me see what voltage it's at right now. because it was getting charged. Let's see here, make sure this is, now that I can actually live preview, I can actually see if there's glare. And there's not. Alright, let's see. Get the mouse over here, focus is good, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Alright, let's see what voltage this is actually at right now. And you can see, alright. 4.14. I guess we'll see what happens. If it gets all big and shit, then we'll have fun with it. I don't know. But I'm just going to keep charging it with the 4056 set on lithium ion mode just to have fun. As long as it doesn't freaking burn my nipple off, I guess we'll be alright. Now, and if you need a slightly stronger, like a alternative to super glue, Loctite 404 is good. But I use any of them interchangeably. This I have to buy. This I can get from work for free sometimes from McCormick's Spices. They make like Old Bay and stuff. Their shop, you can get like small little bits and pieces of stuff here and there. Like I get my electrical tape from there. I just got these 2 rolls of electrical tape for whatever I might need. Actually, yeah, another thing. We'll do a little random tips while I'm sitting here and looking at chat and stuff. If you don't have forceps, a little locking, like needle nose stuff, get them. They're great. They do come in very handy. They work really well when you're doing projects with your helping hands. And I generally recommend you put electrical tape on your helping hands so that they don't destroy the wires you're clamping into. Where is the rest of that? Oh, it's already in there. Pie dish can go away. No explosions today. This little guy. Put my hat on. Alright. And these wires up. Woofle to show. Oh yeah, I can go grab the woofle. I can't fire it because there's way too much flammable stuff above me, but I can show it real quick. Hold on. I call it the Bluefler since I printed it in blue. That kind of hurts after a while. Alright, put that away. So here's the limited edition Woofler. The next version of this will have a modification to the lid. But here is this with the lid. Turn that over. And the lid is because you can hold a lot more woofle juice in it. So the limited edition, quote unquote, has the logo in it. The next standard edition is actually going to be fitted so that when you take the lid off, you put it on the ground and then you set this. There's going to be it's going to be fitted so that it can act as a can holder, just to make it a little more stable since these are kind of skinny. But inside, let me get the focus. Focus up to 40. There we go. Oh yeah, you can see, there we go. Inside, you can see at the top of the percolator, It is a tiny. It does its best to print a very tiny Woofle or a Clive logo. This line here is your fill line. Kind of turn it sideways so you can see like the percolator in there. Inside is a straw that basically is an extension of the butane that comes to the very top just underneath this flat spot. And there's your outlets, and then the water or the propane or the butane has to go all the way back down to in a chamber, and then there's holes at the very bottom down there to aerate the fluid. But you can hold a ton of fluid in this thing, so hence the lid. You found the files. Yeah, and it works good. And I mean, you can, as long as you don't go more than like you would have to turn this so that Woofle juice would start pouring out before it would start backfilling inside the Woofler. Now you still have the slight overflow that you may get from it, but it works out. And then the other Woofler I made, like the V3 Woofler with a similar stem, it's shorter for a little less fluid. And the top up here isn't threaded; it just stays open. There's a very slight chamfer at the top. It's like 88 degrees, or well, 2 degrees in off of flat to try and like form the foam, like kind of make it come out a little tighter, but it didn't really do anything. But it was worth a shot. And then I have the outdoor Woofler, which I haven't printed yet, but that's about this big. As far as Woofle size, it's 120 millimeter, whereas this is 50 millimeter at the threads, on the inside diameter of the threads. The other one is flatter and it's shorter so that the tray is out wider so that more air can get in and not have to go down into everything. But I haven't printed that one yet. But that one will be getting printed soon. What else? What do we got over here? Just bought a set of reverse tweezers. Yeah. These I just print them out, glue them together. I have a pair over at my little kitchenette thing too. Yeah, screws on. What color Woofler? There's another lead. Oh, for those that drink coffee, if you drink a lot of coffee and you have like a big plastic, I'm looking over here to make sure it's in frame because it's kind of not. You get like these big plastic containers of either coffee, grain, oatmeal, or whatever. Print out a trash can thing for them. Works great. Love it. Another tip from the Uncle Scruff. Let's see, finish cleaning up around here. Put that back on its stand. Yeah, I like doing the red one so that try to get it so it's just in the shot so it looks kind of, I don't know, kind of looks neat. There you go. There, that went some glue. Oh man, what a day. I got one of these too. I got another one somewhere. I got the 1 amp, 2 amp, burn yourself, set yourself on fire load test kit. These things are awesome once you figure out how to do all the button presses. That was annoying to figure out. Here, just in case you don't know or you can fuck that up. Same thing that Mr. Clive uses. Very convenient. And this is that, we tore that down a couple of, it's about a month ago. I think I took this apart when I did the bullshit ass 800 amp jump box. I actually left the cell in it, because even though I found it on the street just like chilling, the cell tested to 2500 milliamp hours, so I'm like, pretty fucking primo battery in it for something that was laying on the ground. So I just left the cell that was in it, and I'll save my 3300 milliamp hour batteries for bigger projects. So yeah, that's a nice aluminum casing for it, so I'm just kind of holding on to that, see if I need it for anything. Nice bomb-proof almost. Oh man, I wish there wasn't so much paper products above me. Can't do it. If it was in the other room, the ceiling is fireproof. I don't really have a way to get you into the other room, but yeah, that just threads right on. Nice and sealed. That way all your extra woofle juice can just sit there. Like, that's been in there for like 2 weeks. I'm slowly, you know, woofling through it. Pretty good capacity. Yeah, I cannot risk that. Because, let's see. Well, we're pretty much, like, we're pretty done. So if I move this around here, but just so you can see what's above. Let me hold this steady. Where's that camera? So you can see my diffused light setup. It's going to be delayed because I'm using this feed to see. But yeah, there's my diffused lights. So probably not a good idea to woofle. Sorry for the noise. That's got to be annoying as shit. Alright, didn't fuck the camera up too much. Even though the focus is... I got like 25. That look good for you down there? Pretty good. Alright. Alright folks, as usual I took a 15-minute project and turned it into a hour and a half plus. Because, you know, that's how we roll. Next week I will, weather permitting, I will be, looks like probably on Sunday again, at Honeygo Regional Park for a hike. Maybe a flight. It'll either be Mavis or the green thing, which we gotta figure out a name for that. So if you have an idea, well, we'll talk about that next week. That we can actually see it, and we'll have to come up with a name for it. I'll put that out to you guys since I named Mavis. Any news on the towers? Yes, bring the woofler. I will try to get the outdoor woofler printed and perfected for the stream. I'm going to print it in safety orange, because fuck it. The towers, yes. The demolition permits have already been approved by the state, and it looks like they're going to implode the building. Currently they're saying June or most likely July, maybe late July. But that is already been approved. They're just working out the timing now of getting all the shit out of it that they want before they blow up the towers. Because like as we saw, if you were there or watched the video, like those big stacks, they don't go to the ground. They stop right at the top of the building. So you can't tear the building down when the stacks are on top. So they're just going to blow the whole fucking thing up. There will most likely be a TFR issued for that day. I will get as close as I can with the drone. Unless the TFRs put me so far out that it's like no point, and then I'll just walk up with my fucking phone. You know, I'll walk closer than I can get with my drone. As far as interference and all that, like I've thought about it and I've been reading about it, like there's no interference with drone on demolitions because any critical demolition is hardwired. They do not risk wireless. Am I on Big Head? Yeah, okay. They don't risk wireless shit on big demolition. So at that point, the TFR is just for safety. Mostly to keep planes out of the way unless you have special permission. And I wouldn't have any idea where to apply for that, and I don't think they would approve it anyway. Because you need to have really good reasons to get TFR approval. And saying, I want to show my buddy's shit getting blown up. Probably not official enough. Well, let's see. I can't woofle for you, but like, is this? Woohoo! Just thought about that. Yeah, That's the best I can do for a woofle. Fucking scatterbrained, I know. So yeah, I'll see if I can get the safety woofler printed. And figure out what we're if I'm going to bring the green drone next week or just bring Mavis, or I'm not even guaranteeing I'm going to bring Mavis. We'll see. Like I said, it depends on the weather. But I guess that's about it for this stream. So I'm going to hop off of here. I'll probably get on Big Clive Discord, the official one. And I'll probably pop off a couple wooflers in the flame-proof area. And go from there. So, see, did I miss anything? Green Goblin, maybe. But the reason I thought about that at first, but with Green Goblin, there's got to have that yellow to it. There's a certain yellow for the original Green Goblin, not the mechified, shiny, anodized one from 10 years ago. But like the original Green Goblin has that yellow, that distinctive yellow as well. Or at least in my mind he does. Whereas that's just a green eyeball. But we'll come up with something. And I don't even know if the eyeball is going to stay on it, because that's decent drone, a decent control system in it to make your own shit too. So it may be something that evolves over time. Like maybe that can be our little pet project on different shit we can do to just see what we can do with the drone. It's nice that it already has a built-in flip mode, which is cool. Well, we can fuck around with that. Add the color with a Sharpie, yeah, we could do that. I'm sure we could get accents in there for it. Add the color, white, everything. Good day, yeah. So we'll work it out. Roman candle firing system. If we can get it to hold, like Mavis could hold a Roman candle, even though I wouldn't put anything explosive on that expensive ass drone. But I wonder. It's something we can mess with. Maybe we can get the green, because it's something to remember too. I guess we're just going with Green Goblin at this point. So I guess that got it sorted out. So Greenie or Green Goblin, or we'll go with Greenie for now. We'll come up with a formal name, maybe, but it kind of feels like it might be Green Goblin. But Greenie, you can turn the lights on and off, so that can be used as a remote trigger. Just like how Mavis, you can turn her landing light on and off, which is why I have the photosensitive trigger, so that she can, with the dropper for like dropping balloons or holding on to stuff. And that's how I use that to turn my searchlights on and off, just with the LER, light dependent resistor. So we do also have that option on that control system, on the Greenie control system. So we can do remote triggering. There's no cameras on it, but I mean it's $35 drone. But we could turn Greenie into an interesting project. I don't know. Resistor ignition. Oh right, yeah, just like model rocketry engines. Yep, yeah. Yeah, I used to do model rocketry engines, and I used to also make modified versions of model rocketry engines that were slightly more contained all around, and did stuff. That was always fun. Anyway, my usual 20-minute outro. Well, that's the stream for today. I'll post up as the weather sorts itself out this weekend. I'll post up what time I'll be out there. It might be probably noon-ish, 11 or noon my time, so 2 or 3 hours earlier than the stream started, or 4 or 5 hours earlier from now. But I'll post it up. I'll let you know. We'll have some fun. We'll walk around Perry Hall. And go from there. So, thanks again for stopping by, and I will see everyone next week. Have a groovy weekend, and I will see some of you on Discord soon. Let me find the window over here. Let me get my mouse working. Cheers, everyone. Where's the off button? That's not the screen. There it is, YouTube Studio. End stream button. Talk to you later, everybody. Have a good weekend. Next time, bye.